Hello, welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I'm going to show you a tour of our kitchen. It has been 6 months since we have lived in this 1950s fixer-upper, and I wanted to share with you all of the updates we've made. So I'll start with where we began. This is from the day we first got the keys to the house. As you can see, the walls were a dingy yellow. There was a very low ceiling fan and the cupboards were a yellow-brown. The tile is a teal and yellow combination, something you don't see very often nowadays. This footage is from the day we moved in, and you can see we just threw everything in there and tried to live as best as we could. So it has taken 6 months for us to really get this place under control. After a lot of thought, I decided I'm going to take down those doors up there over the fridge because, as you can see, I can't actually reach to get in there. After living here a few months, we decided to move the refrigerator across the room, and since doing that, the kitchen feels twice as big. This shelf had a false back and it was falling apart, so we decided to rip that down and create a new shelf that went all the way to the back wall, and that doubled the space that we had. At some point, we are going to rip this entire kitchen out and redo it completely. But I just wanted to make this kitchen livable and a lot prettier for now. So we did some tiny updates that have made this kitchen a lot more functional and a lot nicer to look at least in my opinion. We still have a few things on our list, but I'll give you a little tour right now of what we've done so far. Up here, originally there were 2 doors that open like this, and we had the fridge here. So I decided to move the fridge over there and remove those doors and add these baskets, and I feel it just makes this area look a lot more open. We also added this shelf that my husband made, and I like this because I can put all of our fruit or just things that would possibly be left on the counter up here, especially when we are working to cook and using the counter space. It's nice to have this additional area. I bought this utility cart from IKEA, and I will try to find the link and put it below. We can put our filtered water over here, and this is just a great place for my boys to put their things as they're getting ready to go out the door, and also an area that we can use for prepping food. The cart is on wheels, but we don't move it, so I've just locked it. This utility cart comes with just raw wood on the top, so I use this contact paper so we can easily wipe it off, and I will link this in my description box below. And we are currently storing the bread machine down there. The countertops and the backsplash are clearly from the 1950s. They're a teal and yellow, which is such a vintage look. One major update we did is we painted the entire kitchen white. Previously it was a yellow-brown color, and what's interesting is through the years I could see where at one point this was painted in avocado green. If you can imagine avocado green with teal and yellow tile, it must have looked like a circus in here. So I wanted to simplify that and just find a color that would go with the teal and white, since we are going to be keeping this for possibly year, 2 years, 3 years. We're not sure. We need to save up the money first for this kitchen. So the white really makes this teal and yellow not as ugly in my opinion. And in a way, it's almost sort of kitschy, cute, and very vintage feeling in here. One thing I did do with the tile is there are quite a lot of cracks in here. So I did get some filler and I just filled in all the cracks, so it's a lot easier to clean. In some of my previous videos, everyone said to get rid of this, and honestly, now that it's white, I don't hate it as much. I think it's kind of cute, but I can't get rid of this because under here is an extremely old extractor fan that does not work. It's from the 50s, and We don't want to see that. If I were to get rid of this, you would probably see how disgusting that is. So this covers that for now. And again, we're gonna eventually redo all of that. I added this little curtain. I sewed it myself to just shorten it a little bit. And I feel like it just adds enough style to make this window look a little bit nicer. And also it blocks out the neighbors from looking in. If we didn't have this, I feel they would just see right into our kitchen over the fence. As I mentioned before, we had the fridge here and it stuck out quite far. By moving it over here, this kitchen feels so much more open now and the countertops feel more extended. And then this is our door to our backyard. So honestly, the fridge sticking out this far really made that door feel blocked off, and I feel now that we've moved the fridge, there's a clear sight to the door and I can see the kids when they're standing at the door, and it just feels so much more open in here. My husband just made this little table. It's not completely finished. We do need to put an edge on the front here, but he is a woodworker and I can link his channel below. He did this completely custom. It's more of a piece of art than it is a table. And then I just put my basket on it for now. We're probably gonna come up with a different solution for this, but this is where I store my purse when I'm trying to get out of the house. And we've hung a mirror here to reflect more light throughout the kitchen. And I love this because it makes the kitchen feel a lot larger. Also, my plant has really taken off, so I thought it would be fun to have my plant crawl up over the mirror and hopefully down again one day, because I am just loving real plants at this point in my life. This is how I have our pantry organized. Again, it is not picture perfect. This is real life. I've organized this in a way that really works well for our family. I do like to use these type of containers to keep things a little bit more organized. And then I like to use these containers, and I'll link everything down below, to store my oats. I eat oatmeal every day, and this is a great way to store it. I usually buy it in a very large package, and then I put it in here so I can get to it very easily each morning. This is where I store our pots and pans, and I just came up with this idea. I have these little command hooks, and I hooked each lid, or the lids I could fit, on the sides, which that was a problem before. All the lids were falling out constantly. So this gives us a lot more space, and it's easier to find what we need. I keep out what we use several times a day, so I have our electric kettle and our Ninja. Up here is where I have all of our baking supplies and spices. I love these containers because I can pull them out, get what spice I need, and then put it back very easily, and it also keeps everything very organized. I've had suggestions to add another shelf, but the problem is I would not be able to reach up there or see what's up there. I want to get some new peel and stick linoleum for this floor just as a temporary update. A few of you have suggested to paint the floor, but the problem is there's actually some missing areas, and I feel the paint will just scratch off too quickly. The last update we're gonna do is remove this dishwasher because it doesn't work, and my husband's going to put in some shelves right here, and that will allow us to put everything that's on the counters down below. So we will gain some more counter space when we do that. Also, when we first moved in here, we put in some new lights, and that really helped brighten this place up. I love the way our kitchen has turned out so far, and these few updates were very inexpensive. I would say everything all together costs around $200 to $300, and I am happy with that considering we will have this kitchen for a few years to come. We will be saving our money for a complete kitchen renovation. This is what our kitchen looks like after 6 months of minor updates. I feel we're finally at a point where we're pretty organized and we're getting into a rhythm of making this kitchen work for us. You can see more about our home and how we've become more minimal on my blog, www.shannontorrens.com. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell to never miss a video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.